And it's the Jazz coming in from out of town in this one, an interconference game today. Better time of year than the holidays for NBA basketball on 2K Sports. Welcome, everyone. This is Kevin Harlan. Courtside with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. And now a quick check of our starting lineups for both teams. And guys, what are we going to be looking for in this one from Hardy?
Well, keep an eye on this, Kevin. His ability to double clutch in midair and still make shots is incredible. Just unbelievable body control.
And, you know, he's also a tough finisher, Steve. There's very little a defender can do if he gets to within arm's length of the basket.
You take a look at the Raptors. They've been playing very well lately. It's been 4 wins for them in their last 5 games.
Looking at Toronto, quite honestly, guys, they're playing a brand of basketball that very few people thought they were capable of playing at any point this season. Never mind right from the start.
And for a team that might not have the talent of some of the other top clubs around the league, getting off to this good start has been critical. I think a slow start might have doomed them.
Passes it to Boyd. Nasty. Absolutely filthy.
And the building is stunned, partner. He dug deep into his bag of tricks there.
Yeah, I hope he keeps that one handy. I want to see that again.
Well, no team likes to have their first-round pick belong to another team. It gets worse when you're a lottery team yourself and you're trying to build your talent base up. But the Raptors' number 12 pick in this summer's draft.
Savage. That's the way to get some momentum on your side.
Absolutely. Those dunks can really have a deflating effect on the defense.
Especially coming from a guy out of the backcourt.
The pass to Burgess. Here's the screen. Just 5 on the clock. Number 49. And again, Toronto with the triple.
The screenplay worked ideally there. And I'm not talking about the screenplay you see in a movie theater. Gave him more than enough room to get that shot off.
Number 89. Defended by Boyd. Rejected by Boyd. Here in the first quarter with about 2 minutes gone by. Here's Burgess, defended by Douglas. All sorts of time. Misses off the left iron.
Well, they'll give him that shot. He doesn't have the most reliable jump shot in the world. We know that.
A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, I had a chance to speak with head coach Tyrone Corbett. He said one of the things that makes him happiest after a game is seeing a huge advantage for them in the rebounding numbers. He shared that with his team before the game and told them, you know what, guys? How about you make me happy today? Let's see if they can pull it off, Kevin.
Thanks a lot, Doris. And Clark, that speaks close to your heart, doesn't it?
Yeah, without question. That was a strong part of my game was rebounding. So when I was playing, the last thing I ever wanted was for my man to beat me on the glass. That would be unacceptable.
Number 89, defended by Boyd. That evens the score. 6 points for him.
And it's nice to see Raptors coach Dwayne Casey getting another chance at being a head coach. A lot of people felt he got a bum rap back in Minnesota in 2007. He had that team overachieving at 500 when he was let go. So I'm glad he's gotten a second chance and he's making the most of it.
And that one's good.
Giving them an opportunity at second chance points with some hard work on the glass there.
First quarter of action, just under 3.5 minutes played. Number 89, defended by Boyd. Pass to Douglas. Nice ball movement by Utah. It's rebounded by Burgess. And you go back to that Timberwolves team at 500. Casey was let go, and then, Steve, they went 12 and 30 after he was gone.
Yeah, they struggled with his departure, and a lot of the players actually were sad to see him go. So, you know, that's sometimes the case in the NBA. You know, coaches get blamed for everything, fairly or not. In Casey's case, Iris. Back. The fact that he got back to work, did a great job in Dallas as an assistant, and is now the head man in Toronto trying to get this team turned around.
Pass to Boyd. Here's Burgess. Let's go. Releases from the wing and drills it. He has 5.
Boy, beautiful assist. That's a couple of teammates clearly on the same page.
Douglas. And it's out of bounds. The Raptors will take it the other way. All right, we've got a bit of a break now, so here's a look at the league's top scoring teams. In third, the Jazz.
Yeah, what a tremendous year they've had so far offensively. Those are special numbers they're putting up.
Last outing for Toronto, unsuccessful. It was a loss to the Rockets in Houston.
Yeah, they really struggled to put points on the board throughout that game, guys. In terms of their offense, nothing seemed to go right.
And once they started spiraling downward, there was no getting out of it, Steve. Their scoring just went dry. And that's another assist for a team that is putting on the clinic on how to share the ball.
I just love the mentality they've had. If the shot isn't there, they're not forcing anything. They're moving it side to side and working to get a good shot.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Jazz. Last time they met was in Utah.
And what caused them to lose that last matchup was the mistakes. And they just committed too many turnovers, and they were sloppy with the ball, and that's why they lost.
The Raptors making the switch here.
Here's where Toronto sits right now in the league ranking. Second in free throw percentage, fifth in steals. And they're in the top third in the league in blocks. They're a team that really doesn't give many good looks.
Yeah, I'm so impressed with a lot of aspects of their game, but particularly the free throw shooting that you talked about, Clark. This is a club that gets to the line. They're focused, obviously concentrate well. And I talked to the coach earlier. He mentioned how much they practice free throws each and every day, and it's obviously paid off.
Number 87. Another miss by Utah. And sloppy play to be avoided at all costs.
Kevin, just take care of the ball. That's what you want to tell them. Just take care of the ball. Don't throw weak passes. Don't be careless. Don't telegraph your passes. If you keep your focus mentally, you won't make those kinds of careless mistakes.
And a look now at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for Toronto.
Well, they definitely had the hot hand from the three-point line so far. Always nice to start out like that.
The other thing they've had going for them tonight is their passing. I mean, doing a nice job. Plenty of their points early on coming off assists.
Fast break Toronto. Vincent the pass to Boyd. Gets it to go.
Their defense just hasn't been able to slow them down.
And that's a big reason why they're trailing, Clark. They haven't gotten many stops here.
Jazz trailed by 10.
Guys, there were a lot of questions about what went wrong for Utah last year as they saw themselves slip from a middle-of-the-pack playoff team to being on the outside looking in at the playoffs. One reason was their play on the road.
.104 left to play in the first quarter. And stolen by Watson. The pass to Boyd. Here's Swanson. But they'll get another chance. Watson, the pass to Swanson. Takes the three. Kept alive. Here's Vincent. Well, it was only a matter of time that they finally get the bucket.
It has taken them no time to build this lead up on the strength of a great first quarter offensively.
And they need to continue to put pressure on the defense and try to really run away with this one from here.
Number 87. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
Yeah, he got whacked. Shouldn't be much debate on that one.
Yeah, that was as straightforward as it gets, guys.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now.
Well, at 89%, he has established himself as one of the league's best from the stripe.
You know, he's been one of those players they've wanted on the line as much as possible this season, especially in close games, guys.
And so he hits both.
That's a familiar sight. He hardly ever wastes his chances at the line. Cashes in regularly.
Pass to Boyd. And that's out of bounds. Toronto will retain possession.
Boy, that pass was in the air a long time.
Long enough for him to get a finger on it anyway and send it out of bounds.
Passes it to Hardy. Goes back up. And the layup is up. He's got 6.
They've built a big lead here early.
Both defensively and offensively. They've been terrific right from the tip.
And as the first quarter wraps up, already a double-digit lead.
Spend your Christmas day with the NBA. The Detroit Pistons go on the road to battle the Indiana Pacers. An Eastern Conference showdown. Big-time hoops coming your way.
Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. And a very convincing performance from the Raptors so far.
Boy, the offense has been so smooth. Everybody working together. And you can tell they're getting good shots pretty much every time down.
Yeah, they're a well-oiled machine there. I mean, they keep the ball moving, they keep themselves moving, and as a result, they're piling up the points.
They've got Vincent, and it's Watson in at the 5, roaming the paint. So that's the 5 in the game for Toronto. And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Well, guys, Andre Kirilenko has signed a contract with the Brooklyn Nets after playing a year with his old team, CSKA Moscow, in 2011-12. He said with the condensed season in the NBA, it was a great chance for
back. Thanks, Doris.
Boy, he's so hard to stop, guys, because he poses a ton of matchup problems for the defense.
He passes to Hardy. Good ball movement here by the Raptors. Lets it fly. Rebounded by the Jazz. They're coming off that win against Philadelphia.
And if you look at their numbers in that game, what jumps out most is the balance offensively. They really spread the wealth.
And they were on fire in all areas. That was a very satisfying road win.
So, timeout called here, the first for Toronto.
So often teams that are near the bottom of the East tend to get drummed by the Western Conference teams, and that was the story last season for the Raptors. Had some close games and even a few upsets, but out west they didn't fare very well.
And now approaching 2 minutes of action here in the second quarter. The pass to Boyd, tipped away. Pass to Hardy, expanding his range. Rebounded by Douglas. Well, picking up that talk again on the Raptors. Teams out west have so many great forwards to deal with, but when you try and go up against them with the stretch four like the Raptors have had, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, particularly rebounding and defensively, Kevin. That's one of the reasons Toronto traded Bargnani to the Knicks in the offseason. They wanted to be a little better in terms of being physical, being more punishing with their post players, and having a better defensive presence.
2 on the clock. Tries from 16. And now Utah, fast break. Douglas leading the charge. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
While never a lock for the playoffs, the Jazz were in the driver's seat for a playoff spot up until the All-Star break last season. However, after the second half kicked up again, they just couldn't beat the teams they needed to and lost a lot of ground, letting the Lakers back in the hunt.
And the Raptors making a change here. Hamilton's checked in. Of course, the Lakers would eventually pass them up during the final days to snag a playoff spot. But, Steve, as you said, it was just a poor run of games for the Jazz right after the All-Star break that did them in.
Well, it would have been nice for this young core to gain some valuable playoff experience, but they did pick up a couple of first-round draft picks. They continue to add talent to this deep roster, and I would think it's just a matter of time before they're back in the playoffs again.
And play stops as it looks like they call it over the back here.
Well, he gave the officials no choice there. Easy call, went right over the top.
Yeah, he's got to go straight up when he's under the boards in that kind of traffic. You can't chest first into the man in front of you. That's a foul.
Lamb is checked in for Toronto. The feed to Watson. The dish to Lamb. Passes it to Boyd. The Raptors need to get a shot. Trying to get back on track. Lamb, good. Lamb's got his first basket. Here in the second quarter, just under 3.5 minutes played, and the Jazz call time here.
Well, a front office shakeup this offseason for the Toronto sources. The Raptors spent big money to attract the executive of the year, and there was definitely some turnover as people were let go, and fresh faces were hired on.
You know, with the new leadership here in Toronto, perhaps a change for the better for a team that's only made the playoffs, Steve, 5 times in its 18-year history.
The new general manager is very well respected around the league. He's done a great job in Denver, and now a chance to turn this Toronto franchise around. And remember, Kevin, this is one of the best fan bases in the NBA. These fans love their team. I think this is kind of a sleeping giant.
That's good.
Oh, he's going to keep banging those home if you give him that much space.
Toronto leading by 9. Stripped it away. Number 78, defended by Lamb. Down low, Douglas. Some solid defense here from Boyd.
Well defended, and he's not someone who responds well to that kind of defensive pressure.
Pass to Lamb. Launches a 3. No good. And Utah the other way now. And it's Utah's ball. They're on a 10-2 run here. There's the pick. Off the screen. And it's Toronto with the rebound. 17 points was their biggest margin. Following this game, they hit the road to challenge the Suns at U.S. Airways Center in Phoenix. It's game 1 of a 3-game road trip. He dishes it to Watson. Boyd the pass to Lamb. 5 on the clock. Kicks it to Watson. Fast break. Here come the Jazz. Here's Douglas. Pushes it down to finish the break.
textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
Well, it feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
Number 65 drains it from beyond the arc. Now just a 4-point Raptor lead. And breaking down some numbers here, the hustle stats for the Jazz.
Well, Kevin, in the first half of play, they're really closing out aggressively, blocking shots, and a key indicator of their activity defensively.
And you know another thing, Steve, they've really done well tonight is getting in the passing lanes. They've been active with their hands, feet have been in good position, and they've come up with a lot of steals. That's making a difference here, too.
He was one step ahead of the defense when he fired that pass for the assist.
He feeds it to Douglas. Tries a three. Rebounded by Lamb.
Well, he hasn't had much success shooting the ball, but it's not too late for him to get it turned around and start contributing.
There's the pass to Boyd. He kicks it to Lamb. And the shot falls short this time.
I'll tell you what, the mid-range shot is not the easiest one to make, but when you've got daylight like he had there, I mean, those are shots you want to make.
And Kevin, what stands out to me is his array of moves down on the low block. The low post scoring, back to the basket game. That's what he does, and that's a valuable weapon for a team to have.
And Steve, very few players have his finishing ability. We see him get a lot of and ones because even if he draws hard contact, he is able to play through that and typically score.
Here's Swanson. It's stolen.
Not sure if they're aware of the 2-for-1 opportunity they have.
Well, they need to be.
Feeds it to Douglas. Shoots the three. Utah gets it back. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. That is good.
Boy, they are just destroying them in the paint.
You could say that again, Steve. The defenders just aren't aggressive enough down low.
And that one's good.
Even with the D lurking, he made it look easy with the soft finger roll.
Number 78. And that's not going to go. And we're through 2 here and a good one. The Raptors out in front, leading by 4.
Now, presented by Sprint.
From the for the Philadelphia 76ers, they have the lead against the Pacers.
The Sprint halftime report, presented by Sprint.
The third quarter now beginning. Both sides looking to pull away in the last half of the game.
Well, really a promising young roster for the Utah Jazz team, guys. A lot of blue-chip talent there. I think in a couple of years, this team has a chance to be one of the best in the West.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for the second half of basketball. So on the floor for Utah. Jazz trailed by 4. Number 89. And misses it off the right side of the rim. And you got to give this Utah front office a lot of credit. You're right, Clark. They've only missed the playoffs 5 times in the last 30 seasons. Steve, that is a remarkable run.
What I like about Utah, too, Kevin, is that they seem to stay ahead of the curve. They make moves while they still have leverage. Dealing Carlos Boozer, Kirilenko, De'Aaron Williams. So they've done a good job of getting value, getting assets, and continuing to look ahead.
You know, it appeared to be another season where the Raptors would be near the bottom of the league, but while the terms rock bottom and embarrassing floated around, they made some moves and were able to go on a run to climb towards the middle of the pack.
Pass to Boyd. Tipped. 4 on 3 as they bring it up. Number 87. Got it from 16 feet. He's got 12. Well, we all know the trade for Rudy Gay, the major move coming last season for the Raptors. They were able to get a look at the playoff scenario at times. And, you know, Steve, it looked like they were much more competitive down the stretch.
Yeah, this is a team that has struggled the last few years, but I think that spark near the end of the regular season gives them hope. And now it's time to start that climb, get back into the playoffs, and continue to build and become an excellent NBA franchise, because they have the potential to do so.
Douglas with it. Now guarded by Swanson. 4 on the shot clock. Number 89. Can't tie it up as that one misses. Raptors with the lead. Passes to Boyd. From beyond the arc. Offensive rebound. Dishes it to Watson. Misses the layup. He had him with that bump fake.
Tell you what, shooting 20% to start the second half doesn't bode well for how this will play out for this squad.
Now the feed to Douglas. Number 87. The tie. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
Nice work to get inside and draw the foul.
Yeah, it's obvious. The defense not going to allow many easy layups. They're going to make you earn it from the line.
And it's tied up with that one.
You know, Utah usually matches up well with Eastern Conference teams because style of play is similar. Both Eastern Conference and the Jazz like to play a grinded-out physical game. And Utah has the bigs and the defensive mentality to thrive in a slower-paced game. And that's why they went 17-13 against the Eastern Conference.
And management. And the Raptors lead by 2.
And that was very confident offense right there.
Utah calls timeout. On back to the Jazz against the East. Did what they needed to do against the conference as a whole. Winning more than they lost, but they also, Steve, had some key setbacks.
And the big one that I can remember was last year was a 4-game road trip to the East Coast. They went 0-4. And that was when they saw their grasp on a playoff spot start to slip away.
Douglas with it, now guarded by Swanson. Number 78. That's in, coming off a nice assist from Douglas. Douglas has got 3 assists now in this one. That's tipped. Third quarter action in just under 3.5 minutes of ball. And unable there to get the go-ahead bucket. The Raptors have gone 2 of 6 from the field here in the third. And there's the pass to Boyd. Here's Vincent. And now running up the court, Douglas pushing it up. Gets it to go. Douglas has got 10 points in the game.
I give them a lot of credit. They didn't quit when they were behind. They really battled back here.
This has been a very impressive round. And the question is, can they keep the pedal to the metal, or will they run out of gas?
Number 78. Douglas, a follow-up flush. They got on this roll a while ago, and they just haven't looked back. And a closer look here at the hustle stats for the Jazz.
Their activity at the defensive end, Kevin, has been really impressive. Attacking and coming away with steals.
Another part of their game that's made a difference tonight is all the second-chance points they've been able to get.
That's good. He's got 13.
Some big points there. I mean, they got him on a nice play to get the ball right to the bucket.
That's what they're looking for down the stretch. Clark, more of the same. Get it inside.
The tray. And it's Toronto with the rebound. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Jazz will take it. And let's see which big men have had the softest touch lately with this look at the leading field goal percentages among centers and power forwards in the last 10 games. And it's Utah's ball. They're on a 12-4 run. Doubled by Watson. Whoops, they pick off the pass. Pass to Swanson. Goes up on the wing. Again, Toronto.
Whatever their plan was defensively that time, it didn't work. Not if it results in that shot.
Rejected by Vincent. 2:31 left in the third quarter. And the shot's good from Boyd. 10 points for him. And breaking down some numbers here, the hustle stats for Toronto.
Now we've seen them make that extra effort rotating from the weak side, closing out on their airspace, sending shots back.
They haven't wasted time getting the ball up the court tonight either, and it's resulted in a lot of fast break points. Well, nothing was going down for him in the first half, but since the break, he's been on target.
And Utah making a change here.
And now we've got a moment to see how the Jazz are doing ranking-wise, Kevin. 3rd in scoring, 5th in three-point shooting. And they also show up in the top 5 in free throw shooting. That's elite-level marksmanship at the stripe.
And Clark, you talked about the offense, and what makes that stat so impressive is that they really get after it offensively in terms of setting screens and making sharp cuts to the hoop. They become a very difficult team to guard.
A new group in now for the Raptors. That's good.
Yeah, something that makes him hard to defend is his ability to receive a pass and get off an accurate shot in one quick, fluid motion. So you better beware of where he is on the floor at all times.
One of the premier catch-and-shoot guys in the league, Steve. There's no question about it.
Some nice ball movement here by the Raptors. 35 seconds left to play here in the third. Fader on the way, and the shot is good. And it's a 4-point Raptor lead.
You know, it seems like when they've gone to him, he's really come through. And that's not something you should get away from.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I mean, a cold stretch offensively, they desperately need a basket.
The dish to Douglas.
They tried to step in and cut him off, but just not quick enough.
And we have the benefit of replay, but I think they got that one right, which is the case most times, even though fans don't think so.
Number 60. And released it in time, but it's off the mark. And we've reached the end of the third. Raptors.
Spend your Christmas day with the NBA. The Miami.
And we welcome you back to more NBA action. Players looking hydrated and plenty of Gatorade to help them get their job done tonight. Doubled by Hardy. He dishes it to Douglas. Shoots a three. The shot is off. And Toronto will come the other way. 17 points was their biggest margin. And for the Jazz. Vincent the pass to Hardy. He passes to Vincent. Just 5 to shoot. And it's out of bounds. The Raptors able to retain possession here. Look out the Raptors' upcoming schedule. Next up for them is going to be the Suns. That'll be at the U.S. Airways Center. And that one will start off a 3-game road trip for the team. 3 on the clock. Passes it to Swanson. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. Here's a look at what's coming up for the Utah Jazz. The Oklahoma City Thunder will be in town for the next one. That game is the first and last of their homestand.
No doubt the Oklahoma City fans want to see the Thunder take that game.
They've got Vincent, and it's Boyd in at the 2. So that's the 5 in the game for Toronto. Here's Flynn. Pulls it. Flynn's got the first field goal of the fourth quarter here for Utah.
You know, Kevin, he's not always looking to put up big numbers, but he's doing a nice job here.
Now the pass to Hardy. Drains the three-pointer. And the Raptors lead by 5. Utah shooting the ball 42%. Douglas with it. Deflects the pass. And it's out of bounds. The Jazz able to retain possession here. The Jazz making a switch here. About a minute and a half into the fourth quarter now. That's good.
Perfect inbounds pass and an easy 2 points.
Toronto leading by 3. It's off his foot. And the ref's whistling a kick ball. to Vincent. Shot clock at 5. And right through it goes. Game moves along. 2 minutes gone here in the fourth. Now here's Douglas. He's tightly guarded. Number 87. He's covered by Watson. Some solid defense from Watson. In Toronto, they've gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. We're in the fourth quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone. Number 65. And it's Toronto with the rebound.
You know, they haven't been able to open up a big lead, but the rebounds are starting to add up for them. They may be able to pull away a little bit.
Yeah, they've been doing the dirty work inside, Steve, playing a very tough brand of basketball.
Douglas for 3. No good.
Well, there's a reason he's open out there. The defense not really respecting his ability to make that shot.
Passes it to Swanson. Douglas with the steal. Number 65. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. And let's take a moment here to get your guys' take on scoring so far for the Raptors.
And they keep piling up the assists, guys. Great ball movement.
Something we've also seen them doing tonight is getting the long ball to go down. Big points from outside. You know, you look at the flex offense that Utah utilizes, and it requires that players, one, be versatile and multi-skilled, but also that they have good basketball IQs. You need to be able to screen and read defenses effectively. And that's not easy, but it's certainly a good way to play if you've got the right people.
And Clark, back to that flex offense you were talking about, some players come into the league with the bad habit of standing around when they don't have the ball. Steve, that's not going to cut it in the flex.
No, it keeps you moving. It keeps the ball going. A lot of screening and cutting. It's a great offense, and it's difficult to cover. But I like what you said. It teaches the young players how to play as well.
And for the Jazz. And for Toronto. They've got Vincent and Swanson in at the point. The putback slams it home for the putback.
Gav, he came out of nowhere to slam that one back in.
Well, that's making him pay for letting him get his hands on that rebound.
Yeah, is it ever, Kevin?
And Toronto has possession. 3-point lead. Pass to Hardy. Here's the screen. An easy layup after coming off the pick.
He's created some good opportunities for himself and made the most of them.
So for the Jazz, their last game, a win against the 76ers.
They ran away with that game, Kevin, mostly thanks to their play at the offensive end.
That's exactly right, guys. There was crisp movement by the players and the ball throughout that game, and they got a lot of high-quality shots as a result.
And that's out of bounds. Toronto will retain possession. And the Raptors making a change here. Toronto's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Tipped away. Pass to Swanson. 5 on the clock. Baseline J on the way. Rebound, Utah. Last time they met was in Utah.
And what caused them to lose that last matchup was the mistakes. I mean, they just committed too many turnovers, and they were sloppy with the ball, and that's why they lost.
Offensively, he can be the engine that drives them at any given time.
Hardy passes to Watson. Trains it from beyond the arc.
You can't leave him alone, especially from long range.
Utah calls timeout. They're trailing by 3. 1:51 left in the fourth quarter. All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Hi, guys. Over that break, I was able to catch the message Tyrone Corbin was giving to his team. He's looking for whatever they have left in the tank. He said, I know it's been a hard-fought game, but now's not the time to leave anything in reserve. If you're tired, come out. Otherwise, I expect you to be going all out, full speed. Guys?
The Raptors have gone 5 of 8 shooting as we've come down the home stretch in this final quarter. And sloppy play to be avoided at all costs.
Kevin, just take care of the ball. That's what you want to tell them. Just take care of the ball. Don't throw weak passes. Don't be careless. Don't telegraph your passes. If you keep your focus mentally, you won't make those kinds of careless mistakes.
A minute 20 left in the game. Now here's Douglas, defended by Swanson. At 6, number 78. Utah gets it back.
Kevin, just enough presence to bother that three-point attempt there.
Well, for a guy that shoots like he does, I'd say that is an easy look. Getting the feel out there from long range, guys. That's his second 3 of the half.
For Toronto, they come in off the loss to the Rockets.
I thought their defense in that game was about as shaky as it could be. At home, that kind of defense isn't going to cut it. Never mind if you're on the road.
They really look tired to me, and I don't know if they had travel issues or if they were out too late, but something was amiss because they had no energy.
He is feeling a terrific percentage from the field.
Utah has gone 2 of 5 on three-point shots since the end of the third quarter. Douglas, defended by Swanson. It's astonishing to see a player, Clark, at his position who can get to the rim like that.
Yeah, he goes very vertical on you, Kevin.
And once he's up there, you know he's going to throw it down hard.
That's his second personal foul, second team foul.
And so they choose to intentionally foul.
2 shots.
Good on the first, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. And so both free throws are good. And it's a 5-point game.
2-possession game now, so strategically everything changes a little bit. Those were very important foul shots.
He kicks to Douglas. From downtown. Utah the rebound. Number 78. It's in. What a beautiful shot to bring him to within 3.
You got to put bodies on the glass right there. They just are not getting it done on the board.
Yeah, they've got to do a much better job of going harder than that to the glass.
Smart foul there. You got to try to extend the game.
Yeah, it's still close, but they're fighting that clock as much as the score right now.
So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 5-point game.
That may be the knockout blow, guys. Those free throws seem to have put this one away.
Here's Hardy. Misses. And so it's Toronto winning this one. Both teams play well, but these guys have the edge.
Yeah, I think so. They were just skating nice shots.
Pulling up in that new toy, the wrist on that boy rock star like